Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you for joining me in SpringWatch. This is my 14 days of projects that are coming out to you for 2 weeks back to back, and they are focusing on the Spring and Celebration catalogue goodies. And yesterday I showed you my thank you packs that I send out to everybody who comes shopping with me, and those are for my January shoppers. And today I've got the cards that go along with it, and so I always send a card, and I send it as a blank card with an envelope so it can be used, and then I put a newsletter in with it as well. And I also send a thank you pack, the goodie treat, and they vary, all sorts of different treats. And this was my card that I went with this month, and so I made 5 different colourways. And I don't know if you can see, I got a tiny little hint of Wink of Stella on this one here. And these are our note cards and envelopes. Now normally I do cut my own cards and score them, but I decided to go with the note cards this month. And they come as a pack of 20. And you get the card blank, all pre-cut and pre-scored, and you get the envelope with it. So I decided that that was my base point, and I had already made one card, and I'd made a Marina Mist version, and I thought, you know what, that will be a really good thank you card. So it kind of expanded from there, and my panelling that I've got on here is very specific sizing. Now these coloured panels are 3 by 3 inches, which is 7.5 by 7.5 centimetres. And I did that, apart from the fact that it looks great equidistant, but when you take a piece of 12 by 12 card and you're using that to cut down, do it so that you've got the simplest measurements possible. And that meant I could get 16 card mats from each sheet of card. So I took 2 sheets of each colour to make 160 cards, which is what I've made. And then when I came to put the white layer, again, I wanted to make it simple for me for when I was cutting down my Whisper White, and I worked with A4 for that, mostly because it was the better option, and that's what I had a lot of. I don't have a lot of 12 by 12, but I have a lot of A4. And again, I went with a measurement that was easy for me, so I went with 7 by 7 centimetres, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inches, which meant I didn't have to cut off the length, I just had to cut off, I didn't have to cut off the length, the width, I just had to trim off a bit at the bottom of the length. I don't know if that makes sense. But I just worked out a simplistic measurement for myself. And then after I'd cut everything, that was at the point I stamped, because although it kind of appears random, it's actually not. It's similar positioning on all of them. So I had all my stack of card blanks done. Well, these were obviously pre-done for me. I had my big stacks, so I had 32 of each colour in a stack, and then I had my white panels already done. And I pulled out Timeless Textures. Love this set. I can see it's being as popular as Gorgeous Grunge, and I absolutely adore it. So I decided, for speed of stamping, with my card, which I'll just grab one and bring it back for you, there are 3 different colours on here. I don't know how well you can see it, but there are 3. So I've got my little filigree design, got that ready, got my spotty one on there, got that ready, and then I also have this one, which is sort of like, well, I don't know if it's a smudge skid or it's meant to be a bit of woodwork. Had one of those, so I got another block. So I had all my blocks all done, everything stamped up on blocks, and then I want the little speckledy one down here. So I got it all ready, and I laid out all my bits of card in front of me, and I just started stamping. And these are all different colours. So in front of me I have Tip Top Taupe for this one. I have Sahara Sand, which is this one, and I have Crumb Cake, which is the colour of the note cards, which is that one. So let's do this. Let me move these so you can still kind of half see them. See what I'm doing. So I'm going to put that one up to one side. So this one is my Crumb Cake. So splodge. While I've got the crumb cake out, and although to be fair I did do this completely separately, we'll take the filigree one down there. So crumb cake done, and I did all of the cards. Well, actually I did them in groups of 32. My Sahara Sand, done, and then my Tip Top Taupe. I stamped this 3 times, but I didn't re-ink it each time. So I went 1, 2, 3. So I get my 3 different colours, which hopefully you can see. And then finally, like I said, I did all of these first. I did all of this bit, and then I came back in with the colour. So I've got a cherry cobbler. I haven't got cherry cobbler at all. That would appear to be real red. Let's cut a cherry cobbler. This is what happens when you cook at night. Okay, let's just quickly cut down a 3x3 mat in cherry cobbler. The actual colour I need. I matched the stamping of the filigree work to match the background. So I'm going to quickly clean this up, and I've got my stamping scrub off to one side so that I can come back in and stamp it with cherry cobbler. I'll bring in all of the colours again in a second to show you. So that's my stamping done, and I did work very rhythmically because that is how I work, and you know, I don't complete one card and then move on to the next. I do all of the stamping in one colour first before I start moving around. So that on there, fold up my card base, and I'm just going to burnish it slightly because it's wanting to open. Adhere this off to the left hand side, but so you've got an equal border all round, and then grab your Wink of Stella pen, which I love these. And then I was actually watching Doctor Who while I was doing this. I do work in the evenings quite frequently, and I was watching a really old episode, and I was just quite happily doing this. And I did all of the cards. That hasn't come out at all. I think I maybe need to prime this up a little bit more. Oh! Don't squeeze too hard. Anyway, so while I was watching Doctor Who, really old episode, it was me on the kitchen table with these everywhere, and I had a good time, and I don't often get time to just watch, well, apart from anything, to watch telly that I want to watch. There's normally small children involved in it, and it will involve either a superhero of cape variety, or it will be a yellow sponge variety. So it was quite nice to have my own time watching TV, and I had a great time making all of the cards. Look, you can see I've over-splodged that. But that is my card, and it's really quick and easy to make, and I loved them. So this, we went with Marina Mist, Garden Green, Wisteria Wonder, Cherry Cobbler, and this one is So Saffron, so it's this lovely pale yellow. And I had a good time, and I'm very happy to be sending out so many along with all of the goodie packs. And yeah, I hope you have a go. And don't squidge your Wink of Stella because too much comes out. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.